Hi, welcome to episode 2 of Southwest Florida Online News. Here's our guests, 9/11 survivors, Marc and Danielle Slough.
Thank you, Angelina. So what I was saying is, as a lot of you know, God works in very mysterious and amazing ways. And for me, right before I got my cancer diagnosis, I went through a 9-month transformational self-awareness coaching, life coaching program. And I graduated from the program and I got my cancer diagnosis. And
wow.
Without that mindset shift, I would have never, ever recovered the way I did because I would have, I don't think I would have had the positive mental attitude, even though Danielle is the most positive person in the world. She wasn't going through it. I was going through it. So I needed that change. And it just worked out tremendously. And it worked out so well for me that I coached other people through my chemo, through my stem cell transplant. I was in the hospital bed on Skype because Zoom wasn't even invented yet, coaching people from my hospital bed because I wanted to give back. And that was my point, that Danielle and I, from all the years on Wall Street where it's me, I need more, we've turned our whole existence around to giving, to being a giver. 9/11, taught us a little bit about giving, but the cancer really turned our whole life around, where we're focusing on other people now and not only on me. And that's been a huge change for us mentally and just in our lives.
Well, I'm glad to have him happy and healthy, Angelina, and really just have this whole experience of this 20-year journey of our life, of which 10 have been sharing health and wellness abundantly with others and lifting others up. So it was really in the beginning just about Marc and his health, but what that has then catapulted us into has just been magnificently unfolding, and to help other people achieve abundant health now is just incredible in today's world, after what we've just been through in the last 20 months and what we're still going through. It's just more important than ever. So dedicating our days to improving people's immune system and mindset and giving them hope and all kinds of resources they may not know are even available. It's just been our pleasure to serve that way. And I'm definitely not old enough to be celebrating 20 years of 9/11. And it's just still, it's just so fresh in our minds. So it's really nice to be here with you and share our story. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, thank you for being here. I know this is tough for you guys to talk about, but I appreciate you, and you're so positive and fun to be around. It's hard to believe the hell that you guys have been through.
That's another podcast.
It makes you who you are.
Yeah, but thank you guys for sharing your story. Now, there was one story that we didn't get to, and that was, Danielle, you talked about all the communications being cut off with the phones, and Marc, your father was also on the trading room floor. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. My dad, when they let everybody out of the exchange that day, my dad didn't come back onto the floor. I went back, Danielle went back, and we still had a little bit of service on the phones then. So my mother was calling, and because she couldn't get in touch with him, because 20 years ago he didn't carry a cell phone around. So we didn't know if he actually made it out of the PATH train, coming up from that side where the trade centers were. So Danielle and I were basically running around the floor asking anybody if they saw my dad, and they did, but he left, and I didn't get in touch with him till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because then all the phone service got cut off. So we didn't really talk to anybody. So it was
a couple of hours of real nerve-wracking.
And not only my dad, it's my cousins worked down there. I was there 18 years before 9/11, believe it or not. And I had my best friends there. Half of them were not there, half of them were there. So people were running around it
was chaos.
Yeah, did you see him? Do you see him? Do you know who he is? It was unbelievably chaotic, like you can never even imagine. I mean, but thank God. I mean, a lot of people had lost their lives. Only 2 people that worked on the floor were up in the breakfast on top of the World Trade Center. So 2 of our members lost their lives that day.
But we knew so many.
But we had so many
other
customers from Cantor Fitzgerald and
incredible stories.
Yeah, so it's surreal. It's amazing that it's 20 years ago. It's never going to leave our hearts. I know that, or our heads, or our memories. I really hope that the generation now really realizes what happened that day, and really realizes, the sacrifice that the police officers and firefighters that didn't run away, they ran in. They were like the first people in, and that's guts. That's just, it takes a different kind of person, and we need more of that this day and age.
We absolutely need to honor our emergency personnel. Absolutely.
Yeah, because those guys went in, they didn't go out. A lot of people, everybody's running out and they're running up, and you got to give them kudos and credit. And
for those of them that didn't make it, and for those of them that
may
got
they rest
sick,
in peace.
May those of them that got sick after the fact, those families that are dealing with, the aftermath, just like we did. I mean, Marc is so lucky to come out of a stage 4 cancer diagnosis and be a happy-go-lucky, incredibly healthy guy playing softball with a bunch of men in Florida.
Yes.
There are so many families that were affected that don't have this ending of the story, and that's one of the things that fuels us to just pay it forward to people, with health and wellness day in and day out. Preach it.
And Marc, I understand you have a cancer book?
I do. My partner and I, Lisa Diamond, wrote a book. It's called Shine Beyond Cancer. We didn't want to write a book about going through cancer. We wanted to write a book like Lisa and I both. Lisa's a late-stage breast cancer survivor, and she's living a great life down here in Naples with us. And we just wanted to write a book about how to be your best self after cancer. Yes, cancer is part of your life, but it's not your story. What can you do for yourself and others after you've survived and gone through, and basically how you can shine beyond cancer. So it was all inspirational. Lisa did crazy stuff. Lisa did the same transformational work that I did up in New York City, down here in Fort Myers, at basically the same time. And we didn't know each other at all. And we came down and we met, and that was one of the things we had in common. So we took all the lessons that we learned and we put it into a book and a workbook, and just, because a lot of cancer patients and people that have gone through cancer don't know what to do and don't know what's next. And we just wanted to give them a little bit of guidance that there is life after cancer. You can shine after you've been through a cancer diagnosis.
Yep.
So the book's called Shine Beyond Cancer.
It's a great book. I've read it. And now, Danielle, congratulations. Has your book come out? I understand you're part of a new book.
I had just did a chapter in a book that is titled 20 Most Powerful Women in the Network Marketing Profession. And it is just a chapter. I'm featured with many other, with 19 other, six-figure, multiple six-figure, seven-figure income earners who were probably most of us doing virtual franchising and work from home long before it became popular last year, Angelina, creating, so yeah, I got to share my story and in a chapter and talk about my tips and tricks on how we became, successful in the industry and also worked together and built a great life down here.
Well, it's a joy to talk to you guys. I'm sorry it's over this occasion, but you guys are delightful. And thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for paying it forward and helping other people.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us. Love you.
Thank you. Love you guys too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. That's all for this episode of Southwest Florida Online News.